In this exercise, we're going to experiment with how to scan a web application for vulnerabilities using the OWASP ZAP proxy or ZAP tool. Now this is included in Kali Linux, but it's also a separate downloadable tool. You can even run it in Windows if you wish. So in VMware here, I've started my Kali Linux virtual machine. I'll sign in with a username of Kali and a password of Kali. Now that's as per step 2. Now, the other thing I want to do here is just go kind of full screen. So for my view menu in VMware, I'm just going to go to exclusive mode so I can go into the Kali Linux menu. Because what I want to do here, as per step 2, is I want to go under O3 Web Application Analysis, and I want to choose ZAP. That's the ZAP proxy. I'm going to go ahead and start that application. And after a moment, we'll see the start screen. So it's initializing the OWASP ZAP tool. Now, once that finishes, we'll be prompted with a few things. Do we want to persist our ZAP session? The default is no. I don't want to remember any settings here, so I'm just going to leave it on that. And I'm going to click Start. And if I were to get prompted for any updates, then I would go ahead and apply any updates. You should always be using the most up-to-date version of your tool. So if you choose to do that, you could go ahead and choose Update All, which I will do here. So I'm going to click Update All. You're going to need an internet connection, though, from this virtual machine in order for that to complete successfully. Okay, so when I'm happy with updates, I can go ahead and click Close. Now, the next thing I want to do, according to step 3, is start up my Metasploitable virtual machine. So I'm going to go ahead in VMware and power on that virtual machine. Metasploitable is an intentionally vulnerable virtual machine with a web app that we're going to run our web application security scan against. Now, once that virtual machine starts up, in step 3, we're told that we can log in with the username of msfadmin, and the password is the same, msfadmin. We want to log in very briefly here. We won't stay here long because we want to make sure we know what the IP address is. If you're going to run a scan against a web app, you have to know the name of the IP address. So msfadmin, and I'm going to go ahead and run ifconfig so that I can get the IP address of Metasploitable. So back here in Kali Linux, what I want to do is, as per step 6, I'm going to click Automated Scan. In the URL field, this is where I'm going to go ahead and enter in the IP address of our Metasploitable, intentionally vulnerable web application. Now, once I've specified that IP address, the next thing I can do is, well, for instance, I can tell it what kind of a spider I want to use to make a connection here. For Ajax Spider, I'm just going to leave it here, Firefox headless, and I'm going to go ahead and choose Attack. And what we want to bear in mind is that the attack results will start to appear down below. So as I start to go to alerts, we'll see any alerts that are related to this specific web application. Now, of course, if I go back to Ajax Spider, it's basically crawling through all aspects of that web application, checking out all of the URLs, all of the web forms, and so on. And any vulnerabilities, again, will start to show up here under alerts. We're already seeing some things that are showing up here. And we can go ahead and we can click, for example, on a specific discovered vulnerability like cookie, no HTTP only flag enabled. What this means is that cookies might be accessible by JavaScript running in the local client browser session, which is a problem when it comes to cross-site scripting attacks. So this is the type of thing that you'll get when you run a vulnerability scan against a web application.